Hello viewers, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a one-way teardown on this full-size VHS camcorder from none other than Sharp. This is part of their SLIMCAM range. This came out around 1993-1994. Unfortunately this example is not working, so we'll take it to pieces and see what's inside. So stay tuned, and we'll see you after the intro.
VHS camcorders just got into shape. Sharp. The new Sharp SLIMCam, the smallest, lightest full-size VHS camcorder in the world. Noticeably sleek, slim, and fat-free, with all the great features of the big camcorders. 12:1 zoom, 1 lux, shoulder stability, and uses VHS tapes that fit right in your VCR. The Sharp SLIMCam, the world's smallest full-size VHS camcorder. It's the great new shape in camcorders.
And here it is, the full-size VHS camcorder from Sharp, the SLIMCam. One of the things that attracted me to this camera was actually the colour viewfinder it boasted. At the time, a couple of years ago when I bought this, I was looking for some colour viewfinders, which were CRT. Unfortunately this one is not CRT, it's actually a small LCD screen. And then I found out, of course, that the camera itself didn't actually work at all. Upon messing around with it, having a look at it, I could hear something rattling around inside. And sure enough, once I opened the eject mechanism, a small capacitor dropped out. To my dismay, it was completely rotten. So I never really went any further with it. I started taking it to pieces, and then I just put it to one side and forgot about it, as you do. I think it went in the shed. Having a clear out recently, I pulled it out and saw it again. I thought, before I get rid of it, I thought I'd do a teardown video on it and see what's inside. So before we do that, we'll look at some of the features it has. Probably already noticed it has a light on the top. This actually fits on the hot shoe, I think, and it takes its power from the camera itself. Now the camera already boasts a low 2 lux operation in low light, which was quite good for the time period, because a lot of cameras need a lot more light than that. So let's have a look at the functions on the side there. So you've got the power focus, they called it, so far and near they called that. Full auto on and off, counter reset, memory display, date and time display, focus auto manual, white balance, high shutter speed. Obviously I don't know what the shutter speed is do. If I can find any information about it, I'll put a link in the description. Fade in and out, blank, gain up, and you've got a light there on off or sync. Then you've got your battery release switch there, 12 times optical zoom. Just turn it around. On this side, the little flap you can remove. You've got composite video out there and audio out, earphone plug, remote, and an edit switch on or off. What that does basically, it will let you boost the signal slightly if you're copying out of that onto another machine. Because as you know, if you're copying from VHS to VHS, you do lose a bit of quality. One of the other things I've just noticed actually, they've still got the sticker on the side. So let's have the pleasure of peeling that off. There we go. That's been on there since it's been made. Compact flat loading mechanism, digital white balance, VHS POW. There's your record start stop button there. Zoom switch in and out. And a carry handle on the top there that retracts. And that's it for that side. So let's have a look at the top. So on the top here you've got your camera record, off, VCR play, initialize, that must be to set the date and time. It also doubles up as a tracking button, rewind, play, fast forward, stop, pause and still. Oh, it's got audio dub as well. It's quite a handy feature actually, you can have a lot of fun with that, especially with pre-recorded tapes. Insert, edit, so that must be so you can insert a scene, and your eject switch. And there's your label on the side that advertises some of its features, colour viewfinder, auto light, 2 lux shooting. And of course one of the things they pointed out on this, which I showed at the advert at the beginning there, is how compatible it was with the everyday VHS machine. So there was no need to copy from one tape to another. You can record straight onto this, eject the tape, and then put it back in your VCR at home. Instant playback. And back in the day, that was quite a big selling feature for manufacturers. I think that's about it really. Not much else to say about it. There's your model number and serial number on the bottom there. VL-SX80, made in Japan. And you've got a tripod mount there. So what we'll do next, we'll take this to pieces. Okay, so here we are, just about to take it to pieces. In fact, I've already started. I forgot actually that I'd already removed pretty much all the screws, probably about nearly 18 months, 2 years ago now. So that's the side door off straight away. And as you can see, there's actually not a lot of room in there for anything else apart from the tape. To give you an idea of the size, there's a cassette. So that takes up a hell of a lot of room with the camera. Normally on a VCR, they lace up right around here somewhere, the head's usually back here. But on this machine, they're quite close. I'm not sure what that is, but they're just quite close to just there. I'll just put that up. You can see they're quite close to the actual tape there, so it hasn't got far to lace up. It's quite unusual actually that it's right over there, because it's usually in the middle. Well, let's get that battery off the back. Oh, it's a heavy battery. In fact, the battery probably weighs nearly as much as the camera. There's hardly anything to the camera itself at all. I bet it only weighs about a kilo, maybe 1.1 kilos. Let's get that light off. Does it come off? Yeah, it does. So it takes its power on the hot shoe by the looks of it. Yes, there's a couple of little terminals just in the back there. I should imagine that's going to drain your battery down a lot quicker. Right, so how does this viewfinder come off, if it comes off at all? Sort of slides out so you can adjust it. Yeah, when I bought this, like I said before, I thought it might be a CRT in there, but I think it's going to be an LCD panel, so it won't be a very good one either. You've only got a brightness adjustment on there. There's some other adjustments to the side there. Can't quite see, there's a couple of pots there to adjust. Should we take the viewfinder apart first, because I think that's the bit we'll want to see in it really. Let's have a look at that. And get into it from this side. Yeah, there wasn't many camcorders out there actually with an electronic viewfinder that was colour. In fact, I think I can only think of one, and I already can't remember the model number. But I've got another camera actually, I think it was Sharp. That's got a colour viewfinder. It's CRT, but it's not a colour viewfinder stuff, it's actually black and white, but it's got some interesting technology in it. It helps it look like it's colour. There's a flywheel on there that turns. I'll have to do a separate video on that. That's not going to reach, is it? It's not going to reach. So this is a one-way tear down, so I'm not being overly careful with it. There's no way this is going to ever work again. Let's just break it off. Couldn't quite get into that one before. Bit barbaric, I know, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. Right, let's see what's in here. It'd be amazing if it was actually a colour CRT, but it won't be. There's a plug there, so let's just unplug that. Right. It's clipped together. There's another screw there. There'll be a teeny tiny LCD panel in here. And LCD panels back in those days were awful. I remember having a little pocket TV from Casio. And if you didn't look at it quite at the right viewing angle, it was quite awful to watch. Just like the Sega Game Gear from the same time period. That wasn't great either. There we go. Well, let's get that a bit closer. So there we are, that's the inside of it, there's over there. Reflect back, and there's the LCD panel. Bigger than I thought actually. Be interesting actually to see if you can get this to power up on its own. It's just a matter of finding the earth the voltage. I bet it's only about 5 volts. Oh look, it's made by Citizen. They were one of the biggest LCD manufacturers at the time. And there's a ribbon cable to the actual LCD panel there. There's quite a lot to it, isn't there, really, for something so small? But this would have probably been the most expensive part of the camera itself back then, because not many cameras had an LCD screen. I can see some leakage on that capacitor just there. So it probably won't work anyway, but I might try and power that up before the end of the video. That must be the inverter board there for the backlight. Amazing. So it's very, very small. It even says Citizen there, look. Amazing. Well, that's probably the most interesting part of the camera. So there's actually a microphone there. Got a date code in there. 91, 92. It goes right up to 95. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, looks like another capacitor's dropped out. Absolutely rotten. Wow. This great capacitor plague of the 1990s. There's not many electronics around now from that time period that's still working. Right, this must unclip somewhere. And there's any screws. So I've already taken the main screws out from the body before. It's just a case of prying it open now, I guess. Something's holding it together somewhere. Control panel cable there. It's very plasticky. Here we go, that's the main board there. It's a big board, wow. That's uncommon done already. So where are these capacitors dropped off from then? Nothing on that side that I can see. They all look quite good actually. Like a package there of components. I might open that up in a minute to have a look inside. Loads of capacitors. Absolutely loads of them, all surface mount. Oh, I can see some more underneath there now. We'll get it open a bit more and carry on looking inside. Would have been expensive technology back in the day. It'd be quite easy to work on, I would imagine. The engineers who were servicing them at the time. So that everything's revealed there pretty much. So just slide that way, or is it upwards? Can't see any screws. Oh, there's one there, look. The big arrow pointing to it. That's why I couldn't see it, because of the arrow. Where are there any more arrows? Take that. I sometimes save some of these fine wires because they're handy for doing PCB repairs. Botch wires. So if you're buying a reel of the stuff, assembly parts you actually can reuse from old electronics, especially the little switches, micro switches. All those little separate mount stud switches. So I've had those fail before. Get that out. It's actually quite satisfying not being careful, because usually when I'm fixing stuff, having to be so careful with it all. Right then, there we go, look, wow. I should have to do a separate close-up of those. Look how rotten that is. That has leaked everywhere. I bet you that one will just pop up as well now. No, it's still staying on. But those two there are rotten. It's leaked out. The electrolyte has leaked out and eaten away at the board. But even more smaller components on this side. Very, very small. I'll do close-ups of all this. And we'll have a look inside that package actually. Just a couple of clips there. There we go. I've forgotten what that's called actually. Let me know in the comments. I've forgotten there's a resistor there, look. Down to the side of it. There's a name for that and I forgot what it is. It's almost like a piece of glass in between it all. A little bit of an adjustment pot there. Hardly anything to adjust. Oh, there's nothing to adjust really, is there? When you look at VCS, oh hang on a second, there is. They're just extremely small. There we go, dotted about. Oh, there's millions of them now, look closely. Loads of them. I thought that would have been unusual if it didn't have any adjustment. Like fuses there. Right, onto the main camera body. Let's go zoom in a bit. So this is the VCR mechanism here. Let's get that out next. Quite a piece of mechanical engineering really, getting a full-size VHS deck down to this size. Quite marvellous really. This is what you're paying for, the miniaturisation of it all. I need to be careful. There we go. Wow. And there you go, that's the whole VCR deck. I mean, it's probably worth saving, I suppose, because it looks quite clean. Apart from a cobweb there. That's your take-off arms there. They haven't got far to go at all, have they really? It's almost like a VHS-C deck because of the size of it. Like I said, when you think the tape's got to go and it's going up to there, it's literally just pulling it out at that point there. Marvellous really, to get it that small. I'm not going to take this apart any further. No need really. That's your capstan motor there. Looks like that drives the, yeah, there's a little belt there. And that drives the clutch mechanism for the take-up spools for reverse and fast forward as well. Very simple. And last but not least, the camera mechanism, which is smaller than I thought it would be. It's tiny. Let's get that out and have a look. That's it. That's the whole lens system there, all the way down to there. And that's the CCD at the end. Wow. So let's see if we can get that off and have a look. There's another screw. It doesn't matter, because it's not going back together. There we are. That is a very small CCD. And you can see the UV filter there. I'll do a close-up better. And that's about ready to come out. 3 elements there. 3 pieces of glass coming out the CCD. These are the bits that fail on the Sonys. They always end up clouding over because the glue starts breaking down and it just becomes opaque or it crystallises. You can't see anything through it. I've not found a way yet to actually replace that. But that is a very small CCD compared to the earlier camcorders. But I guess obviously as time went on it needs to be so big. And then there you've got your motor there for your zoom. Well, that's your zoom motor. And then the focus is internal by the looks of it. Yeah. That's it. And, so you've got 2 motors, no 3 motors, because one will be for the aperture. That'll be your aperture motor there. Marvellous. I think that's about it really, isn't it? There's nothing else to take apart. That's your PCB there for your inputs and outputs, or your outputs only rather. You can see a little bottom cell down the bottom there, which will be for the date and time. There we go. That's it. I suppose the most interesting part there is that viewfinder. And I think I might try powering it up in a bit. See if it does anything. Probably end up blowing it up, but I should imagine it only needs 5 volts. Yeah, so that's that. Okay, so I decided to try and power up this little viewfinder, and as I suspected, it was just 5 volts it needed. Once I found the ground, it was quite easy to find the positive. I managed to get it powered up, as you can see here, but unfortunately I've not managed to find the video input. I've tried all the cables without any success. Now the little brightness wheel there is not actually doing anything. When I adjust it, the viewfinder brightness isn't changing, so I suspect it's actually faulty, and that capacitor there that's leaking is probably to blame. So unfortunately on this occasion we won't be seeing any picture on it, but maybe in another video, if I get it working, I'll do a video about it and we'll test it out. So with the parts of the camera that I no longer want, I shall get those recycled at the WeCentre, but I shall keep the electronic viewfinder. I shall probably keep the loading mechanism with the VCR heads. So that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching that with me. It's been quite interesting to take this to pieces to see what's inside. I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll be seeing you. And if you did enjoy watching this video, you may want to take a look at some of my other videos on similar themes. I'm always buying something on eBay, some old piece of technology, and trying to repair it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.